Have you never found it strange that you never really remembered the knowledge you learned in high school until today? Because be honest, what knowledge from that period do you still use today? At least, not that much anyway. And that's because you learn mostly general knowledge at school. Knowledge that is the same for everyone. In school you learn everything you should do, so you fit perfectly into their ideal system. So that you do what everyone else does. Just become this, just do that, just act normal, don't take risks. But what if you don't want to do that? What if you want to make a difference in your own life? Pretty crazy actually, when you think about the fact that we get math lessons about the table of 5 and 7, but never really about how to develop ourselves on a mental and personal level. Because if we had learned this in school, we would have gotten answers to questions like, what do I really want to do in life? And how to get rid of my fears that holding me back in life? And what skills do I really want to learn? And this is how we could already start proper self-development when we were still young goldfish. It's not a bad thing that you don't know what you want yet, since school never really gave you the handles to work on this. As a result, you will have to do it yourself. So maybe you want to become good at fitness or just want to become the best version of yourself. But where should you start with this journey of improving yourself? In this video I teach you the steps and tools I have experienced that you need to achieve real results as a beginner in your self-improvement journey. Let's dive in. In my experience of starting my own self-improvement journey, I have found that there are 6 steps that can make your journey a success. Step 1. It's key to have a growth mindset. The first step is that it's important that you have a mindset that is focused on growth. In other words, you need to have a positive mindset when you want to improve yourself or when you want to learn a new skill. Think about a professional football player. What people think is that these fuckers make a shitload of money that is based on luck. But what they forget is that these guys sacrifices all their time as a teenager into following their dream. When you were clubbing or drinking with your friends, these guys were trying to improve their skills every moment of the day. They see mistakes as opportunities for growth and accept setbacks as a part of the learning progress. And maybe it's too easy to say and it sounds a little bit harsh for you, but it's about the essence of that message. Besides their talent, it's the mindset that makes them successful. It's hard to get success when you don't have the right mindset, even when you're the most talented and promising football player ever born on the world. So to really become good at a particular skill, it is important that you have a growth mindset. That doesn't mean it has to be always positive, but it is a mindset that is based in improving yourself every day. Especially on the moments when you feel like a failure. Because failures are chances to become better, if you also see it that way. And maybe you're thinking right now, yeah, these guys had luck, and maybe their father was a soccer player too, so it's obvious that they become a pro. And that is kinda bullshit. And if you think like that, I'm sorry to say, but then you have to change something in the way you look at the world and at yourself. But I'm here to change that for you. So what can you do about it? So one thing you can do is start with daily journaling. And this really helps to understand your feelings and emotions you have on a particular moment. As an example, your goal is to read 10 pages today, but after the second page you already feel kinda tired and you don't have the focus anymore to read further. And you stop. Think about the core reason why you stopped reading. If you think the reason is that you are tired, maybe you're not digging deep enough. Maybe the reason is I'm tired because I went scrolling all night on social media and were Netflixing all night. So it's really about where that emotion is coming from. When you're starting with your daily journaling, it's important to ask yourself the following questions. What went well today? What could I do better today? What did I learn today? What am I going to do differently tomorrow? The second thing you can do is start with positive affirmations. These are written out positive statements that you start to believe in if you repeat it every day. This way you start your day with positive thoughts, which unconsciously gives you a positive mindset. Think about the following positive affirmations. I love myself fully. I treat myself kindly and with compassion. I am in control of how I live my life. I am going to make myself proud. I grow and improve myself every day. I am having a positive and inspiring impact on the world. I am grateful for everything that I have in my life. And each day and every day I am closer to achieving my goals. Just stop this video for 1 minute and just start with the exercises for improving your positive mindset. So keep in mind that a positive mindset is important for growth. So know where your negative emotions came from by journaling and nourish your positive thoughts by affirmations. Step 2. You need to understand that you are responsible for your own actions. Have you ever said to yourself that it was your teacher's fault when you got a bad grade? Or that it was because your laptop broke down the evening before the test, just at the moment when you wanted to learn. Blaming someone else also gives you a sense of control because you don't have to change anything and you haven't done anything wrong. In fact, you think you are the victim, so no reason to look critically at our own behavior. We call this our self-serving bias. The good things we have caused ourselves and the bad things are caused by others or circumstances. Yet this behavior is toxic when you want to improve yourself. You don't grow if you blame everyone and anything but you for your own actions. So it's important to look critically at your own actions you've made in the past and accept that you're from now on responsible for your own actions. And an exercise that can help you become more responsible is called connecting the dots. Ask yourself the following questions. What positive and negative choices have led you to where you are now? And is there a recognizable pattern in your life within those positive and negative choices? As an example, I started exercises because I felt insecure in my body. By learning it from fitness experts and successful people in the fitness world, I knew what I had to do to make this successful. Finally, I built a decent muscular body which had the positive effect of becoming more confident and comfortable in my own body. I built separation anxiety when I was younger, which caused me not allowing relational connections. That was because I was afraid of being left again. More information about that topic you can find out here. That choice had led to negative outcomes. I didn't build a deep connection with women because when they came too close, I dumped them. After I dumped them, I was regretting my decision. For that reason, I became more insecure because I felt lonely. Afterwards, it was very difficult to connect with women again, which finally led to more unhappiness in my life. At the moment, I finally accepted that I had separation anxiety. So I opened myself more up to others so I could build a connection with others. I was taking small steps to build that connection, but I was still moving forward. Finally, I started talking more about my emotions and I were more transparent about our connection, which finally increased my confidence and happiness in relationships. Do you see the pattern in here? My negative thoughts like I feel fat or I don't want to connect with people caused me to make the wrong choices, which led to more sadness and insecurity in my life. The positive thoughts with looking at what I really wanted deep inside, like I wanted to have a dream body or I want to have healthy relationships, caused me to make choices based on what I thought were right, which led finally to more positive outcomes. You are what you believe. If you believe that you cannot do it, you cannot do it. If you believe that you have a fat body, you have it. But I were responsible of my own body. So I did something about it. Become 1% better every day. That's my responsibility. There's a good chance that 4 or 5 major life situations have shaped who you are today. Think about how they have shaped your life and were you responsible for the negative outcomes of those situations. Step 3. You need to have a burning desire and faith to make that happen. A long while ago, a great warrior had to make a decision which ensured his success on the battlefield. He was about to send his army against a powerful enemy, whose men outnumbered his own. He loaded his soldiers into boats, sailed to the enemy's area, unloaded soldiers and equipment, and then gave the order to burn the ships they had carried them. Addressing his men before the first battle, he said, "You see the boats going up in smoke. That means that we cannot leave these shores alive unless we win. We now have no choice. We win or we lose." What happened? They fucking won. But why did they won from that powerful enemy? Because they had a burning desire to win. It was the choice between victory or the choice of graving their own graveyard. And they chose to stay alive. Every person who wants to win in every situation must be willing to burning their ships and cut all sources of retreat to focus on one direction. No, not this one. Only in this way you can be sure to obtain the burning desire that is essential for success on every level. To build your self-improvement journey, it's important that you're doing something that starts with a burning desire to make that happen. You have to have a real need or a real desire that you want to change deep inside. So write down, what do you really want to change in your life or about yourself? Or what do you really want to learn right now? In doing so, think about what you want and not what your parents, friends or family want. It's about you, and you are the one who defines your own life. You need to focus on the main goal in front of you, and that's the only desire you need. As an example, my main goal of this channel is that I want to become the biggest YouTuber in the field of mental health and mental development. In this way, I can help and hopefully solve the mental problems for my viewers. To achieve that main goal, I need several short goals to reach that end goal, such as uploading 2 videos every month, improving myself 1% every day by learning positive habits, surrounding myself with other like-minded YouTubers, making impactful videos, and learning more and more about mental health and a well-developed mindset. In doing so, I have no room for negative habits such as eating shit, worrying what others think about me, and financial insecurity. I'm burning my ships, so there's no possible way I can focus on the negative. Step 4. You need to have a concrete planning. In order to succeed in learning a new skill, it is important to plan what you want to achieve. A lot of people having the goal to become successful in a particular skill, but doesn't know how to do that. That's because they miss a concrete planning. 30 minutes of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. There are 5 main pillars which are important for planning. Right now I have made in spreadsheet the 5 pillars which are important for your self-improvement planning. The first one is, what do I really want to do? Let's say as an example that I want to become really good in logo design. So I want to make awesome logos for customers and I also want to make money with this finally. So what can I say about this in the burning desire? Because the first one is the burning desire. What do I really want to do? So what do I really want to do? Let's say we want to, for the end of 2022, I want to master logo design so I can help other people with awesome logos. So for now I just want to focus on one goal, and that goal is master and trying to become a master in logo design. So I'm really skilled that I also can help customers with that. Alright, so what resources do I need to become master in logo design? I think you need different things. First you need like the Adobe programs. So when you are going to make logos, it's important to have Adobe Illustrator, because that is the program which you can use for making logos and stuff like that. You also need a laptop which can handle the heavy programs as Adobe. So that's very important, because when you don't have enough RAM and stuff like that, maybe the program Illustrator is not really working that well. So that's maybe important. When you're working on your laptop, maybe you also need an extra screen. What other resources do I need? Also think about where are you going to learn the skill on. Something I'm using is Skillshare. So normally for logo design, I can use Skillshare. So I can search for it. And I see here that I can follow different kind of stuff about logo design. So maybe I need to have, right, this is John. Thanks John for this course. But you can use Skillshare for this kind of stuff. So what do you need? Like a learning platform, like Skillshare, Udemy. But you can also use just YouTube videos. But if you want to have more structure and stuff like that, I will say to you that it's maybe easier to use this kind of stuff because it's really helping you also in efficiency and stuff like that. And mostly of those guys are also like certified Adobe teachers, so they know what they're doing. And like for me, I learned a lot on Skillshare and also with logo design and stuff. So these are like more materialistic resources, but you can also think about other resources like mental resources, like a good mental health, which will give you high energy level and motivation. Also more an open mind to learn new things. So these two things are mental resources, which also can help you with finding out when something's not working. Alright, what will I do to receive this? So this is more the commitment-based pillar. I'm just gonna say it. When you want to make logos and stuff like that, if you only make it once a month, it's not really working. You want to do it more on a consistent base. So what you can say is like every Monday on 10 a.m. you want to make it concrete, so you really have to focus on the day or a time. You don't really have to do a day, but you can also say a time, because then you know what you want to do. I am going to learn a new logo design lesson on Skillshare, YouTube, etc. So concrete levels every Monday on 10 a.m. If you're saying every day, it's not really concrete because your day is like with 24 hours. So I would say like every Monday at 2 a.m. and every Wednesday on 10 a.m. I'm going to learn a new logo design lesson on Skillshare about learning and mastering your skill. And maybe every Sunday I'm going to make a fictive logo to really learn the skill. So then you can just say like, this week I'm going to make a new brand which is like a daycare for children and stuff like that. So you're really learning the skills. Alright, I have also say at 12 a.m. because it's weekend, you know. So now you're already having like fixed dates, what you want to do and when you want to do something. What will be success criteria? After I made 3 happy customers, so real customers, my work and skill in logo design is skilled enough to see this new skill as a success. Another success criteria can be something like I know the basics of logo design according to the rules on Skillshare. So these are 2 different success criteria which you can use for your videos. So this is just like example. If you're doing something else, like doing gym or stuff like that, you have like different success criteria. Maybe you want to lose 3 or 4 kilos after 2 months. That can be a success criteria. If you're not making it, it says something about, all right, now it's important to plan my day. So what I want to do is these different dates, I want to plan it in a calendar or something, so it's really fixed on a day. Alright, normally what I'm doing is like I'm tracking every 30 minutes of my day, so that's why I have this schedule. If you want to have this schedule, I can send it to you. Just send a message below, so I can send it to you by mail. So what you can see here is that I have different timestamps, but I want to learn logo design. So logo design lesson Skillshare. Alright, how long do I want to do it? Maybe maximum hour. You don't want to have it too big because you're just starting with a new skill. So I want to have it on this day. Alright, Wednesday also on the same time. And then you also want to have it on Sunday. So this one is practical exercise. You can do it both. Look, the thing is, it doesn't really look that I don't have much time here. It's quite, it's not really full, you know, but when you're having school or work the whole week, you don't want to make a too big step, but just like plan it for yourself. Just find out which is the best time to do it. If you have time in the morning, you can do it in the morning, or if you have time in the evening, you can do it in the evening. Doesn't really matter, but just write it down when you want to do what. Step 5. Action is the universal language of success. Success seems to be connected with action, and successful people keep on moving. They make mistakes, but don't quit. In my head, I often have things I really want to do, like a concrete goal or a plan to carry out. But at the moment it had to happen, uncertainty and fear took over. As an example, at one moment I had the desire to read 10 pages every day. Before that, I already written down a little plan with what books I'm going to read and when. When the time came for me to start reading, I just put it off, so I no longer believed that I could do it. The reasons? I was too perfectionistic, I didn't have belief in myself, and I wanted too much. If my goal was to read 10 pages and suddenly the next day I have read 9 pages, I felt like a fucking loser. And that's why I recommend to start very small in the beginning of learning a new skill. So small that it's almost weird to do. Instead of reading 10 pages, I started with reading 1 page every day. If we read 1 page every day and keep that up for 14 days, you will have read more than that failed first day. The most important thing for that, consistent action towards the goal you want to achieve. So think about your own goal or skill you want to learn. How can I make it so small that it's easy to stick with on a consistent base? For example, you can walk 10 minutes every day to finally reach your end goal of walking 2 hours every day. Or you start with running 5 kilometers every day to finally reach that end goal of doing a marathon. Over time you will find out that you can scale up, but make sure you can do that on a consistent base. When you're having some lack of motivation during that action period, you can use these sentences to give your motivation again. Action established habits. Action shrinks failures. Action induces winning. Action determines what is possible. Action produces a result. Action utilize knowledge. Action minimize risks. Action build trust with yourself. Step 6. Reflect on your actions and improve them. Alright guys, well done. You're now at the final step.
Okay.
Sure, you've already done this by journaling, but this one, take it a step further. After you've taken regular action to learn a particular skill or improving yourself, it's important to look at the extent of the goals you have achieved. After all, learning is a never-ending process if you really want personal growth. Reflection on your actions gives you time to rethink your processes and start new strategies in the future. So one thing you can use is the reflection model of Kolb. He stated that the process of reflection is based on 4 different phases. The first one is concrete experience. This is about having the actual experience. The second one is reflective observation. It's really about reflecting on the experience. The third one is abstract conceptualization. This is about learning from the experience. And last but not least, active experimentation. You're going to trying out what you have learned in this reflection. Alright, let's say that our goal was to read 10 pages a day. And afterwards we're going to reflect on that goal. So concrete experience, how did I experience this action? We can say like, I've tried to read 10 pages a day for the maximum time of 14 days. In the start it went well and the first day was easy to do, but afterwards my motivation was going down. So that's something you can say, but you can also say like, but I'm happy that I tried to experience this myself. So this is the concrete experience you've been through those 14 days of reading 10 pages a day. So the start went well and afterwards, yeah, your motivation was going down. But finally you're happy that you did it, so that's nice. Alright, reflective observation. What went well and what could be better? You can say that you maybe learned something if you're reading self-development book, like I've learned about different subjects within self-development books. Something more, less time on social media. Also what went well, setting goals for myself. And maybe also like I loved reading the moments when my motivation was high. So these are things what went well. If you think about what could be better. If you think about what could be better, maybe you were procrastinating. And maybe you were also like insecure and distracted too much. So these are things what could be better. And you can also think about maybe lack of motivation to finish 10 pages of reading. Check. Alright. Abstract conceptualization. How can I improve my actions so that I do achieve my goals this time? We were already talking about that 10 days maybe were too much. So make it very small. So what we can say is in the abstract conceptualization that from now on I'm going to read 1 page every day instead of 10 pages. Maybe that's important because what I said, make it very small so you can do it on a consistent base. What you also can do is maybe avoid social media 1 hour before reading. So if you're reading in the morning when you're waking up, it's not really a problem. But maybe if you're reading in the evening and you're on like social media all day, your brains can have like a lot of distraction and then it's hard to concentrate for reading and stuff. What you also can do, where I talk about fixed timestamp right now. So every morning at 8 a.m. I'm going to read. Make it more easy. What you can do is after you waking up, first cold shower, then finally reading 1 page. So this is something what I've experienced, what is really nice. Most of the time I'm getting a first cold shower in the morning. And afterwards I'm starting with reading, and this is really working for me because I'm getting a lot of energy from that cold shower. So that's something what's working for me. It doesn't mean it has to be working for you. Alright, active experimentation, new goal. For the coming month, we can say month or 2 weeks, doesn't matter. I'm going to read 1 page every day at 1 a.m. A requirement for the goal: no social media before reading, or first cold shower and then reading. So that's something you can do. It depends on what you want and stuff like that, but you can see already, then you already find like in 5 minutes time like what your reflection is and where you can improve yourself on that goal you were setting before. So even if you're doing something with working out and stuff like that, or maybe you want to learn a different skill, or maybe you want to live your best life, or you want to be more happy in general with relationships and stuff like that, you can use this reflection model from Kolb to really find out where your emotion is coming from, what went well, what could be better, but also like how you can improve your actions. And finally it's about achieving those skills. So you want to just experiment and take action. But you want to improve yourself every time. Alright, now I'm going to summarize all the steps we've been through. So you have like a broad view of all those steps and what you have to do in what step. Step 1. You need to have a growth mindset. Think about the story I told you about the football player. What you can do in this step is daily journaling and morning affirmations. Step 2. Keep in mind that you are responsible for your own actions. Was it your teacher's fault then you had a bad grade? Nope, it's your responsibility. Also with learning a new skill or make your life better. The action we have in this step is connecting the dots exercise. Step 3. You need to have a burning desire. Think about the story of burning all the ships. And think about the question, what do I really want to learn? What am I deeply convinced of what I want to do? Step 4. You need to have a concrete planning. Think about the 5 main pillars of a concrete planning. What do I really want? What resources do I need? What will I do to achieve this? What will be the success criteria? And finally, plan your day. Step 5. Action is the universal language of success. Think about my struggle with action and that it was hard for me to read 10 pages a day. So, what can you do to make your action very small? So it's almost weird to do. Step 6. Reflect on your actions and improve them. Think about the Kolb's learning cycle. 1. Concrete experience. Reflective observation. Abstract conceptualization. 4. Active experience. And finally, when you found a new skill, start all over again. When applying those 6 steps, keep in mind that everything starts with you. Every choice you make, every emotion you have, everything that didn't went well. You are the one who determines the outcome of your life. But then you have to understand that you are responsible for your own actions. One last tip I'm going to give you is that it's easy when you have like-minded people around you who motivate you and help improving you. So find people who are like-minded in that sense. Alright, this was the video of this week. Hopefully you liked it and you learned something from it. And I'll see you next week. Ciao!